This is like a trademark Bollywood and Tollywood shot.
Animating animals is probably one of the hardest things to do. You don't have like reference of a tiger, like, you know,
Flipping front, flipping over.
For as ridiculous as certain scenes can get, this one is actually pretty believable.
That looks great. Oh, the fire looks
Dude, that's so smart. That's so smart.
Debit.
Welcome to another episode of Visual Effects Artists React. And this week, something very special for you. The worldwide phenomenon, the global blockbuster from South-Indian cinema that has swept the world.
RRR, for me, it actually sums up and utilizes all these crazy things you see in Bollywood and Tollywood movies for the purpose of telling a better story. Like, the action is crazy, it is out of the world, but also it's focused on storytelling. It's entertaining because it makes the characters cooler. The songs, the dances, they're not just random music videos dropped into the movie, they are story beats. And oh my God.
It synthesizes
Seriously.
all of the elements that you think about when you think about Bollywood movies as these sort of visually over-the-top extravaganzas.
Yeah.
But it hyper-focuses it.
I've seen 2 films in theaters, like so far into 2022. Those 2 films are RRR and RRR. If you're in America, RRR is on Netflix, but it's in Hindi, not its original language. You should try to watch it in Telugu if you can. You should definitely try to get it in the theater.
And if you are gonna watch it, try and watch it with a group of people.
But you have to disregard some stuff. You have to throw away the bags of what you know about films. Take that bag of Oscars, throw in the dumpster. Get it out of here. It's
Throw away.
trash.
So with that, let's dive into RRR. I saw an interview, they said 2,000 extras in this scene.
Indian films have very good crowd work and extra work. There's a really great VFX breakdown of the scene too, which shows you just excellent use of crowds.
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh, that's really clever.
Oh wait, so it's not even fully CG crowds. We're talking about like plates of crowds too.
Yeah, they really committed to like have some real stuff in there.
This is a blend of virtual.
Yeah, everybody against the fence is real because they're interacting with a real object. But right behind them, by about 10 people back, you get into CG people and composited people.
So he's been ordered to arrest one guy in this crowd of thousands. For as ridiculous as certain scenes can get in this film and others, this one is actually pretty believable. Like, you watch this guy go through the crowd and you're convinced that he's actually like controlling this.
What's great is also the shot design here lets you, like, you really, even the wide, you catch exactly where he is.
Which is crazy to be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
To be able to easily see him. Like, notice how everybody in the crowd is wearing headwear except for him.
And then great cutaways here to emphasize what's happening, right? So this punch here, boom, right? A little bit of CG blood to just emphasize each of these single hits. A tiny thing I noticed on my 4th rewatch of this was to make the crowd feel bigger, you have varying heights. It might be only like 2-3 layers of people deep, but then even further, right? See, you get little bits of the flag even further back, and you're like, oh, that's just a clever way of implying more depth, right? Even though you won't visually see it by having some stuff higher up.
You're right.
I mean, it really seems like they're committed to having really practical stuff in the foreground at almost all times.
Yeah, all the stuff that your eye is focusing on. It's all about the particulate and the smoke in the air that really blends it out. And the use of slow-mo here is very much, reminiscent of, I think, what John Woo does so well, which is using slow-mo as a means to emphasize and draw out beats. And it's like over and over again, the use of speed and speed ramping.
And rhythm too, like we're slow, he's hurt. And then now that he's refreshed, and he gets one breath, gentle push in, getting that rhythm back. And,
right?
boom,
And now we're back
boom,
in.
boom, 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 and the rhythm's fast again.
Yeah.
And he's 100% ready
I
to
love
go.
that shot. I love this. Pause for a second on that. Now, is that comp?
That's a comp.
That's definitely a comp. Wait, I've seen so many eyeball reflection shots or sunglass reflection shots in these types of films, but this is probably the best one because first off, they're like distorting it. It looks like it's reflecting on a curved surface properly.
The reflections of his eyelashes,
The eyelashes. There's so much detail put into it to the point where it's like, is that 100% real? His eye would have to be a chrome ball, or his pupil would have to be a chrome ball to
You
get
see
that
a camera
shot.
in the reflection too, also.
Oh, you would, you're right. Yeah. This single shot still telling the story of the scenes. It is one person against a huge crowd and him intimidating, right? Yeah. It's almost POV, but you're seeing it through his, it's just incredible. Oh.
Yeah, one glance and that's all he needs to push him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Look how many asses were kicked.
All right, we've introduced Rom.
This is, by the way, maybe the 2 greatest character introductions in a movie you've ever seen.
Dude, this introduction is so dope.
And remember, too, the language of the movie, they both represent the 2 elements, right? So Rom's supposed to be fire, and then NTR's supposed to be water.
Yeah, he had the torch that hits the gate before he reveals him.
Yep.
And here we're on
then
water
here, it's like it starts on a reflection before we turn around.
That's a fun shot.
It's weird, this blood looks perfectly real at first, and then it gets a little CG at the end.
It's totally, there is so much CG blood drips in this movie.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's probably an element that they poured down like something and comped it.
One of the things that's really interesting due to, sort of the cultural sensitivities towards animals. Animals in these movies are all CG, right? They don't mess with the possibility of harm to any animals.
By the way, do you guys notice that he turned into a CG man there?
Yeah. That little blend there. There's a blend.
Yeah, real. And then
spin.
little Texas switch to a CG double.
Dude, what?
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Dude, what a shot.
And what's great about slow-mo, by the way, is in the world of slow-mo, we don't have any visual context for what should look right.
Yeah.
So you can get away with animation to just emphasize the swipe or whatever. Even if you played that back at normal speed, it might look weird, but it doesn't matter because it works in the slow-mo context.
So something that's look really nice here, but when they hit the ground, there's a bunch of CG leaves. Boom, right there.
Oh, yeah.
And that really sells the contact.
Whoa. Yeah, those look
They
nice.
put a lot of effort into these tiger shots.
Animating animals is probably one of the hardest things to do. Like, if you're doing a human being, it's like, oh, I need him to dance and do this weird move. It's like, well, I can look in a mirror or record myself with a phone. You don't have, reference of a tiger,
flipping
doing
over.
I need a tiger doing the semi-truck crash from the Dark Knight. This is a one-shot that's janky.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
The punch zoom into a different perspective. I loved it, though.
Well, I mean, there's other shots that are janky, but look how good this shot looks.
It's a great
That shot looks excellent now.
But what a good setup for a man versus a tiger. He needs to stay calm.
He needs to stay calm.
He needs to roar back. Use osmosis.
Oh, yes, it works every time.
It never gets old.
The tension of that shot is incredible too, right? Because he's in full flex, but the whole theater is losing their minds at this point. It's just
This scratches all the itch that the best WWE matches scratch.
yes, agreed.
There's parts like this that are so well done that are easily on par, if not better than stuff
That's
you see in
great.
movies.
That's
this
a
looks
great
amazing.
shot. It's also shot choice too, because there's an angle where that shot is almost impossible to do, right? But then if you're coming behind and you're letting the foreground be the tiger, you can get away with not necessarily being exactly where is his hand positioned into it, because it's covered, right?
I have to imagine one of the hardest things for the VFX team and the director here in this scene was to have it where it's like the tiger's falling asleep, it's struggling, but it's still scratching him a little bit. Enough that it really hurts, but not enough that it wounds him. You need to hit that story beat.
Because it needs to communicate that's still dangerous, right? Because there's a movie where it's he goes, boom, he hits a tranquilizer dart, and boom, it's down, right?
Yeah.
It's no, the struggle continues still. There is already a built-in suspension of disbelief whenever we choose to watch a movie. If the purpose of the shot is the tiger's chasing him, and it's not selling a big story beat, then it's okay, it literally doesn't matter as much compared to the story beat here where he's gonna cradle it. That you can't be distracted by, oh, this looks bad. You can forgive it because you're forgiving the movie because it's a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, VFX is almost like a really abstracted version of acting, where it's when you're in the middle of action, the acting's not super important. But when an actor is having a very intimate moment with another actor, it's you can't get distracted by bad acting.
Throughout this movie, they do an incredible job of making sure to focus their strengths at the points that they actually need it.
They do that for over 2,800 VFX shots.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's insane.
It's a nice train. That's CG. 100% CG, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, that shot of the front of the train right there that we just saw was 100% CG.
Okay, but I saw they made miniatures for this whole train
Oh,
too.
we'll get to that. You only make miniatures when you want to blow them up. Classic. Gotta hit the
The
sparks.
sparks from the brakes. Wait, so the fire shots of the miniatures? Because obviously we got CG fire up
CG.
here.
CG fire, yep.
But then this next shot is quite nice
That's
looking.
miniature.
That looks great. Oh, that fire looks
Dude, that's so smart. That's so smart. All right, we have a CG train for the close-ups, and then we have a miniature for the destruction and the physics of it. Usually it's either backwards or flipped, or like completely one and the other.
Yeah.
I've never seen the use of that where we're going to use CG for everything except for when physics takes over.
That's a real size right there, full size thing. This is all wire work.
That they just tipped.
Yep, but this is all in camera here, except for the background, which is Compton.
One of the tricks I always feel like that I see is that explosions are very bright, and oftentimes real explosions will blow out. Like you have elements of pure white in there.
Yeah, look at that.
But then CG explosions, every VFX artist is like, but I put all this effort in these flames. I want to see all the details of the flames.
I
And
know,
it's like,
that's like the biggest gripe. Niko mentions it all the time too. It's like the classic Marvel movie explosion where you just have like the super detailed and flat explosion.
It's like just brown.
Keep in mind, if you're compositing an explosion, that is exactly what you want to simulate to make it look real.
Yep.
yeah. Right when the flames are at his hands, you get the proper halation.
Oh, yeah.
Proper
that little-
halation on the finger.
Woo!
Good work.
That's what it's called, halation?
Halation, yeah.
It's not called light wrap or whatever?
Bloom.
I think halation is like the technical, like,
Okay.
optics term
So-
for it.
Because
All
right. Bloom is when light gets diffracted passing through your lens. Halation is when it hits your film and causes the silver crystals next to where the light is hitting to also change color and expose.
Oh, because it spills out on the sensor or the
and
film?
On film. Is game recognizing game?
Game recognizing game? Two hand signals and like, I'm just with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's rock and roll. And now here's like, all right.
Oh, yes!
Whoop.
Yes! You can't start a horse without having the horse start.
He didn't
Yeah.
even tell him the whole plan,
Dude,
by the way.
the torque on that horse is so...
There's still more secrets left to this plan that we don't know yet. See, that is not style. That is substance. So the flag isn't just because they're heroes of their country, which obviously they are. But
Yeah, the whole time you're like, what? This seems excessive.
Like,
Why
that's
is
a
it, what's
little
with the
excessive.
flag? This seems, what is this style with the flag?
Any other Bollywood and Tollywood movie would just be style with the flag.
You fool. You fool. What's happening here? You keep asking yourself, what is up with the white flag is wet? Why? What would it?
What?
There's only one answer, and that's You tell me that there's not a greater wingman move than knowing that your buddy is going to need to protect himself from the flames.
Fire, yeah.
And then the build here.
and then he's like, boom. There we go.
Dun 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 dun. Titles!
How far are we in this movie? How far is this? 40 minutes.
40
in.
minutes, and now the main title hits. That's a transition. They introduce themselves, it transitions into the logo of the film.
Oh, they take a beat. They're like, hey, we acknowledge that what we just did was kind of
That
ridiculous.
was crazy.
Oh yeah, they even put them up there. They didn't have to, but they did.
Wait, are they actually holding on?
them, dude.
Wait, hold on. Stop. Freeze. No, they're holding hands. They're like maybe there could be a cable connecting them that's like either on the back of their wrists.
Oh, by the way, that's the CG horse in that shot right there.
That's a CG horse. Oh,
That's a
because
CG
it has
horse.
to stop. It has to stop and let them go off.
Yeah, dude, check out the CG horse rig.
Yo, what?
And look at his little bike trainer wheels thing. So he can do his like, move
Oh, for
every
the
time.
turn. Yeah.
So the actor doesn't have to, like,
that's
risk himself?
awesome.
There is an incredible scene, a dance number, if you will, called Natu Natu. However, we can't include it on this episode on YouTube or else, well, we'll get flagged. So if you want to watch it, head over to corridordigital.com and watch the extended version where we
It's the greatest dance sequence in cinematic history.
head over there if you want to check it out. Yeah.
Boom.
CG.
Get out of the way.
No.
I think did they flip it? I think they flipped just looked pretty good. I don't know, you tell me.
Oh, what a shot.
Love it.
Oh,
What a good
yes.
payoff. He finally makes his move. He attacks the British, and he does it with all the creatures he's been capturing in the forest.
So this does a very John Woo kind of Hong Kong cinema thing here where we're jumping through time, right? Like this is out of time. We're taking our beat here. We're taking a long time here, right? And now we're coming back to it. So all that stuff again is like the sort of cutting in a way that is emphasizing emotion over temporal logistics.
It's anime.
It's anime.
Get off me.
Here we go.
Yeah. And that stunt guy just does the perfect.
Perfect flip.
Yeah.
That's called like a gainer, right? Or something?
header.
A header?
A header, yeah.
Like you can feel like the tension of the animation like almost breaking. The header actually
brings it
works.
around. Yeah.
And the animation of that leopard spinning around, like it fits.
Can we just pause for 1 second to just acknowledge and appreciate the filmmaking artistry that goes into deciding not to do this whole sequence as a stupid oneer? I'm tired of stupid oneers. We're at a point where people know there are cuts in oneers. Like, it's not cool. It's not cool anymore. Stop with the useless, boring oneers. Filmmakers, I'm telling you this right now, you're not cool for doing a oneer anymore. Nobody is impressed anymore.
Yeah, like,
nobody thinks it's cool and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
And because of that,
They're
nobody
boring.
likes
They're
you or
boring.
your movies.
They're boring.
Stop doing boring oneers.
Super boring.
Stop doing boring oneers.
Stop
no,
it.
listen, a good oneer, there's plenty of good oneers out there, but they're used to like bridge together. And again, they don't overstay their welcome. There's a purpose to it. So this is like a long single shot to show what? To show the chaos and sort of the scope of what's happening here, right? The purpose of this, it's the range of animals, even the horseback sort of folks can't even handle it, and the punctuation mark,
Fire.
and we're starting a fire. That's like a technical wonder, but like they're cutting out of it by the certain point.
Oh, what an intro.
Fire showing up.
Love the detail that like the power of these horses are gonna even part like the two most dangerous animals that you've seen up until this point, artificially keeping him very dark in the front, right? There's even this next shot here, it's almost completely like that's completely ridiculous, right? That's almost 300, right? It looks like a shot from Sin City almost, but like but the purpose is this dark. We're gonna flip this, get a low angle of our guy walking. Oh my, come on.
This is like a trademark Bollywood and Tollywood shot. Something flipping in slow motion above a cop. This is a trademark shot.
And then of course the wheel hits him.
Oh, the wheel hit him.
Yeah.
This coming up here, I think, is one of the most sublime theatrical moments I've ever had, which is the key shot. So the key falls out of his hand.
It was so close. It was literally in his grasp.
He's coming in and out of focus, and then like you can track the moment it goes, and then he's gonna come into focus one more time, and now his look is different, right? And now you know it's like, no, now they're against each other. How hard this hits too. Boom, right? It's almost a jump cut to emphasize the speed of it.
This is that Dragon Ball Z action now where like very singular, powerful strikes here.
Good crisp choreo with the emphasis on the hits, like low angle, but like just great choreo there.
And using smoke that's backlit behind them so you can silhouette them and read their body shapes.
Ah, clever, good point, yeah. Uh-oh, fire. Yes!
Yeah.
Kudos to the VFX artist on that shot. Every single time I see it, that little arc of the background rocket over Ram's head, just
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you're just like, you know what? Those Bezier curves just hit. Sometimes those Bezier curves just hit different, and this is one of the shots where them Bezier curves just hit different.
Whoever was placing them knew where to
They
place
knew
them.
exactly.
Like-
It's like a painting, dude.
They didn't even have to decide where they went. They were like, oh, this is where they belong. That shot could be complete chaos if done incorrectly.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like
No,
you're watching just like, oh, what the heck?
We should pause it here. Showing you the rest of this fight would be a disservice to you. You should go watch the movie.
Hey guys, it's me, Jake, again, here on a giant Bollywood film set, doing things big time. And if there's one thing that everyone keeps telling me around here, it's that credit on a film set is important. You know, and come to think of it, courtesy of today's sponsor, Extra, you can start building credit with debit today. Now, you may not know this, but it's Extra's mission to make building credit and getting credit more accessible to everybody. And they have a brilliantly simple system that they've come up with to allow you to start building credit with debit. You see, Extra works by first connecting to your bank account so there's no credit checks, and then you use the money that you already have in your account. When you swipe your card, Extra spots you for that purchase and then pays itself back the following business day. And then at the end of the month, they add up all of those transactions and submit them as credit-worthy transactions to credit bureaus, thereby allowing you to build credit with debit. It's an incredibly simple system, and it's brilliantly simple. And it's available for people who might not be able to get credit, or maybe you just want to try something that's not predatory and charges you 30% interest a year. I don't know, maybe you're like a normal person who doesn't want that in their life. So if you guys are interested in getting started today and building credit with debit for yourself, head on over to extra.app/corridorcrew or just click the link in the description below. That's extra.app/corridorcrew. Thanks Extra for sponsoring, and I hope you're having a great day. I think they got a chair for me in the video village, so I'm gonna go sit in it and make comments that I don't really understand. Hey guys.
I would love to hear what your favorite parts are.
Yeah, just talk about the movie.
Let's just talk about the movie. I just want you guys to talk to me about the movie. Tell me what you think of it. Tell me your stories. How did you discover it? Where'd you watch it? Was it awesome?
You know any fun facts that you want to share with other viewers or ourselves? Yeah, enlighten us. We barely scratched the surface. There's multiple scenes which I would even argue are even better scenes than everything we just watched, and we will leave them for you to discover.
With you and your friends.
You and your friends in a movie theater.
Just try and get as many people together as you can, because this is a movie that you will want to stand up and scream at.
Yeah.
Consider subscribing.
You know what? You're welcome. You know what? You're welcome. If you hadn't heard about this movie at this point and this is driving you to watch the movie, you're welcome.
This all started here. It started with this man being like, hey guys, I've discovered something. I think you need to see it.
I pushed hard for this movie. I continue to push hard for this movie because I want more movies like this. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy the movie. I hope you seek it out. I hope you have a good time with it. I hope you subscribe to these good boys.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Freddie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Sweet.
I'm glad. Any chance I can see to watch frames of this movie and learn more about it, I will take it.